Record. Okay, here we are with quite possibly the shortest VOD for our life because this is during a subathon and we are 16 minutes away from the end of it. So, yeah, let's go out with a bang, everyone. Derek's controller was finally freed. Mr. Suarez had to let go of both controllers to catch his squirming child. Yeah, we're playing Mario Kart. When is she showing up? I wonder if we'll even get to her. Nerd. Oh, hi there, Smallest Waffle. Welcome. Just have to insult the game for it to pop up. Twice Maiden. You're so terrible. When is she showing up? I'm sorry, Twi. I don't think she exists. Let's go out with a bang. This isn't the 18 plus DLC. Go hydrate. Go hydrate. Nicholas would not be contained. He climbed up over his dad's shoulders and wrapped his arms around Mr. Suarez's face. In sweet justice, the Team Suarez cart flew off a bridge into the abyss below. Hello, all. Hello. Hello, Waffle. How's it going? Did you just wake up? It's like really early in the morning for me. How's your day going? Yeah, Nicholas! George placed his own controller in his lap with a shake of his head and a smirk. Team Suarez wasn't winning this race. Derek rolled his shoulders and poked a tongue out of the corner of his mouth in concentration. He was back in business. Damn, still going. Love to see it. Yep, we're really close though. We got just 15 more minutes left. Welcome back, TB Enigma. The Team Lappy cart course corrected and raced towards the finish line of the final lap. The youngest Suarez hugged all four of his limbs around his dad, even tighter from the thrill of seeing Derek speed his car around the track. Aww. Yeah! Items weren't needed now, but you were just as invested in watching your cart make the last stretch. I'ma use that blue shell no matter what. And Derek brought it home, crossing the finish line. We won! Derek threw his fists into the air, pumped them back down to his chest, and turned to you with a palm held out for you to snap. Why would you use a blue shell in first place? Elio throwing the game. Just cause I can. Just to flex. I'll be like, I'm so ahead in the game that I will use a blue shell on myself. Just to flex on people. Just be like, yeah, I recovered and I'm still ahead of you. I'll give him a high five or a thumbs up? A thumbs up. He stuck a thumb out happily and he repositioned his hand to match. You were victorious. I was just reminded, have you guys seen that one meme of like one person putting their hand out to do like the heart hand thing with someone else and the person next to them just does like a thumbs up? That's me with Derek. Nicholas sent his arms up towards the sky, a perfect imitation of his eldest brother. Oh, is this the image? Play Mario Double Dash with Elio. You're about to cross the finish line. Elio throws a blue shell to flex. Elio throws a blue shell to flex. Yeah, I'm built different.
Okay.
I lost. Next race. This time Derek repeated the phrase, still rearing to go. But that was naturally followed by the original copycat. Nicholas clapped gleefully and snuggled up against his snail seat. His seat on his father's chest. Next race! George picked up his abandoned controller once more. His voice was quieter, but no less sincere.
Yeah.
Next race! In all the commotion, you completely forgotten you could have switched to the driver role to take over for Derek at any time. George could have too for his dad, but you were glad it went the way it did. Oh, like when he like covered his... I completely forgot that was a thing in Double Dash, to be honest. I always thought the person in the back just had to throw the items and that they couldn't switch. Bro, I'm dumb. Team Lappy got its win with the assistance of Team Pile Drivers. What kind of name is that? Nicholas and Mrs. Suarez. Oh, because they're not in the game. That's cute. That's cute. And the game was just getting started. Race next. Next race, race next. You couldn't help breaking the pattern. It earned you some fresh laughter from the family. Yeah, I picked that one up from Twy. Well, now this is a real party. There's still pizza in the fridge. Who wants leftovers? Can I please have the pepperoni pizza this time and not the vegetarian pizza this time, please? The suggestion of food riled Nicholas up even more. He clambered over his dad's shoulders for the second time, tugging on his beard and accidentally knocking his glasses off. Mr. Suarez wheeled out a chuckle. Nicholas stared out from over the couch into the kitchen. He wanted that pizza, but couldn't be the first to ask. I was thinking that's something I do. I know you too well, Twy. Pizza, please. Can I please have the pepperoni?
Same.
Me too. But do you know me 3 well? Do I know you 3 sink? George and Mr. Suarez chimed in their own request.
Sure.
Can I have some, Mom? I'd like some pizza, my beloved wife who never turns against me. She snickered with a glint in her eyes. You sunk my battleship. Of course. Start the game. I'll heat it up. All 4 of the Suarez men spoke in unison. Thanks, Mom! Thank you, too.
You're welcome.
The players all resumed their positions and took up their tools, slightly sweaty GameCube controllers. When the second race started, the grin on Derek's face was one of the most radiant you'd seen the whole day. His dad, mom, and brothers, too, really knew how to make Derek happy. Okay, so considering their age, these characters really must be my age, if they're like this age in GameCube era. Why are you blocking me, boy? Oi! That brought a smile to your face, too. From getting a window into Derek's life, and from what you knew from your own, spending every day with the same people could take a lot of patience, but there are a lot of perks, too. Oi! Your time at the Suarez household ended with family, food, and fun. There wasn't much more you could have asked for. What's with the bunks? Lemonade. Did you guys ever do like lemonade stands when you were a kid? I remember this one girl on the corner where I lived actually like had like a full ass like business lemonade stand. Like she had like cards and shit. She had like multiple different lemonades you could get. You could get like pink lemonade, orange lemonade. No, I just had lemonade ham on. Oi. Mob mentality. What the hell? Nope, I only saw that on US TV series. Yeah, I think like people did the lemonade stands just because they saw it on TV. But I had like this one girl that lived on the corner that did it. Blue Shell. LU in first place. Blue Shell. Unrelated to lemonade. But very related to me. No, all I did was do that pretend to pull a string across the street while cars are coming prank. Wait, what is that? What kind of prank is that? It was afternoon on a sleepy summer day. Nothing urgent needed to be done. No real plans had been made. You and your company were simply hanging out around the local beach, free as the breeze. It was one of those good days where the world was your own, and you had two of your close friends there to enjoy it with. Derek was on your left, and Cove was at your right. 3 pairs of footprints trailed along in the soft white sand behind you. Please don't bring the sand into your house, Cove. Derek had only been dropped off minutes ago. He'd brought with him those clothes you had to leave at his house after your night swim. You had taken a minute to put them away. It's where you and a friend act like you're pulling a string tight across the street when a car is coming. Some people think you actually have something and slow down or stop. It brings me joy, but I was a menace. God damn. That sounds fun though. I remember there was like this one thing that I did. I don't even know why. I was a weird kid. I told you guys how I like cut out pictures and like pasted them. Like I taped them to like the wall, like just pictures of cars and stuff. I remember we had like a really big bag of like multicolor like rubber bands, and so I tied them and I tried to make like the longest like line of rubber ties tied together, and I went around my house to see how many times I could go around with it. I was able to surround the entire perimeter with my rubber band like thing like 4 times. Can't spell ace without being able to see through his chest. Ow! Goddamn. It was definitely hot out. Southern California tended to get that way, but it wasn't so bad that you had to hide away from the beating rays of stuff. I knew it was in Southern California. I fucking told you this game took place in Southern California. This is yep. Okay, they just confirmed it. Cove's hands were in his pockets. He spoke out while facing away from you. Instead, he lazily watched the unchanging horizon. So... what do you guys want to do? You and Derek took on matching squints. Normally there'd be endless answers to that question, but the lackadaisical mood made it feel like trying to solve math problems in a dream. My current headcanon is that they live in Bakersfield, because Bakersfield is like a rich neighborhood. That's where my nephews used to live. Yeah, nothing. Your thoughts were moving as slowly as the tide that inched towards the shore bit by bit. Me, a northerner. Disgusting. Me, a Central Californian. Finally, the resident problem solver offered a possibility with a yawn and a tall stretch of his arms over his head.
Well...
You're not disgusting, Barn. Wanna walk to the grocery store? What? Cove twisted his face to the opposite side and stared at Derek. A stuttering laugh expressed his disbelief. Why would we go grocery shopping? With a shrug, Derek scratched his cheek and explained. Want me to lie? Okay, Elio is not a shinny. Isn't that the truth? That you're telling the truth. For once in your life, you're telling a truth. Twy. Evil Elio be like, I love Naoya. Well, that's just me normally. That's just me normally. Evil Elio because Elio's already... Hey! Hey! Evil Elio be like, I don't want Naoya to pee on me. Well, that's not me. No, you're wrong. You're not me. Well, it's probably different here, but where I live, the closest place to get stuff isn't a convenience store or mall or anything. It's a grocery store. So sometimes me and my bros will take a trip down there and see what we can find. Wouldn't you find groceries? Search your feelings, you know it be true, amen. Good Elio be like, I don't want Naoya's used tissues. Derek just laughed. The puzzled reactions from his two friends didn't deter him at all. Alright, we're down to 1 minute. Let's go.
This is gonna be great.
It's really not like normal errands. You can get anything you want. There are a lot of things at the store you never even think about when you're there with your parents, and a list of stuff for the house. Clove's formerly heavy, drooping lids lifted high, showing his bright blue eyes. He glanced between you and Derek for final confirmation that you were seriously doing this today. Good Elio, the type of person to be like, why would I want her to step on me? That hurt. I could never imagine being like that. Derek had complete confidence in his stance. The power. It could be interesting. The corners of your neighbor's mouth perked up as well.
Sure.
Okay, let's go grocery shopping. Elio can't imagine being good. You heard it here, folks. Hey, I just meant I can't imagine the stomping part. Okay? Well-adjusted Twi be like, I enjoy Ramazel a normal amount. I want her to end me. Cool! It was another successful bit of improvising on Derek's part. He put his hands on his hips eagerly.
Let's go.
I'm pretty sure I know where your store is, but the two of you should probably lead the way. Maidenful Twi be like, I don't like puns. So your puns are what is keeping the women away, huh, Twi? Leave it to us. Cove puffed his chest out with pride. He was a true local to the town after being there for so many years. And your walk continued, now with an actual destination in mind. Alright. Shows up. Oh wait! Oh my god! Holy shit! Overtaker! Oh my god. Okay, I was about to be like, show's over! Subathon is done! Oh my god. Thank you for the 10 gift subs, Overtaker! Oh my god. I expected a last minute thing, but not that last minute. Yeah, literally the last second. It was on 0. Oh my god. Get wrecked. Well, thank you. Thank you, Overtaker. I guess this won't be the shortest our live stream. Here, let me just edit that. Now that we got like another hour and a half. Why are you bullying me? Hold on. A perfectly normal amount of our life. Because you're bongable. Why? 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 Yes, thank you again. Thank you again, Overtaker. And then you bonk me. I see how it is. I see how it is. And your walk continued, now with an actual destination in mind. You retraced the remnant. Oh, wait, hold on. Since Overtaker did 10 subs and we're at 23, that means we reached 2 goals, right? Let me check. Yes, we reached 2 more goals. Alright, we got a Truth or Dare game and a karaoke session unlocked. Alright, well, I'll play like a little bit more of our life, and then we'll do a Truth or Dare game after that. Yeah, karaoke and Truth or Dare. Yeah, karaoke, you say yes. It is a bit early in the morning, so depending on how much time we have after like an hour of our life, I might take a nap just so I can have the timer paused so that I don't have to sing when like my family is asleep because I don't want to wake them up. Okay, so you need to lower the quality of your singing because it has to be karaoke, not karaoke. Hold on. I got like, okay. I just like spammed my phone and like I just like banged my hand on my phone and just exited out of the Twitch app. Hold on. Maiden full twi be like, I hate Elio Lappy. So are you saying you'll never have maidens? Or is this a new confession? Smooth. Twi, I enjoy you immensely. Never change, please. Why is Overtaker to scare me, my friend? You're a treasure. You really are. See, this is why I don't ban Twi from my chat. I'll never have maidens, clearly. But what about Ramazal? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna adjust myself. While I was sleeping, I guess I kind of kicked up my my comforter. Also, I'm out of water, so I'm gonna go grab some water real fast. My throat is a little dry. I'll be right back. And also, I just realized we reached our first goal for my personal goal to pay my internet bill. So thank you again, guys. Thank you again for all the help with this subathon. It really does mean a lot. I just wanted to take a moment to thank you guys for all the kindness that you guys have been giving to me. I didn't think I'd be streaming this long. So thank you. Thank you guys a lot. Especially because like this is not very well announced in advance. So I really appreciate you guys being here for me. And you guys were even there for me when I was asleep too. Because I saw like all the chat messages. So thank you. Simply get lords then. Or like a priest or something. A blacksmith maybe. Fine low-key saying Twi needs Jesus. Yeah, see you in a bit, Twi. Gonna throw a brick at the bun. Oi! Why would you throw a brick at me? I'll get brain damage, more than I already do. If I get more brain damage, I don't know if I'll be able to survive. I'll have a 0% survival rate. You don't want that. When you turned onto Main Street, the grocery store was already visible in the distance. It also wasn't going anywhere, so you enjoyed the stroll together. You would arrive when you arrived. I couldn't believe there was an hour video of the history of the Flash game, where you haircut the cat. Oh, you guys watched that one? I love that video. And she did like fan art of the two, the angel and the devil being gay. I love that video. Simply survive as a robot that had a lobotomy. So I'm a little cold. So I'm gonna put a blanket on. I'm cold. It's a cold morning. I need warmie. I wish I had a cat. If I was ever cold when I had my old cat, if I ever felt cold, I would just be like, kitty, rest on my chest. You're so warm. But now I have to put blankets on. Yuck. World cool and cold. Cat cute and warm. No, I'm going to go as I am in mourning in the morning. You're in mourning? Is everything okay? Yeah, it is pretty early. Derek continued to sell the concept of his plan by recounting stories of him and his brother's past adventures in Grocery Land.
But
So we got in super lucky because the discount rack had a whole cherry pie for way off. Oh, you DM'd me? Okay. Oh. Oh shit. Oh damn. Oh yikes. I'm so sorry about that, Barn. Damn. Ugh. Man, that's a bummer. Wow. Well, I hope that just means that they found something better. Like, hopefully that means they're pursuing something that they want to pursue. And that they had to, like, I don't know. I just hope they're doing okay. Anyway, enough sadness. Play your video game. Try and take it easy, Barn. I know it's hard when you see stuff like that, but I hope you can take some time to have a good day for yourself, Barn. Remember my cat used to put on my lap and start doing the scratching thing they do when they get comfortable with the little muffins? It's a love-hate relationship. I love muffins. I love when cats do muffins. Yeah, everyone, pat Barn. That sucks. Man. Anyway. Me, George, and Nico pulled our pocket change to get it, and then we had an entire pie just like that. We sat outside on a bench near the store and ate it from the pan. It was cut into 6 slices. I only let the kids have 1 piece each. It was already a lot of sugar. I didn't want to make them food sick. I tried to come up with how we're gonna explain half a pie to Mom, but Nico had his own idea. He took a slice he wasn't allowed to eat and instead threw it at George. Oh god. Cove's mouth gaped open at the audacity. Derek laughed out loud at the memory and the response it got in the present. He'd been watching way too many cartoons with food fights and pies to the face, I guess. You'd believe that. If there was one thing Nicholas loved, it was Derek. And if there was another, it was cars. And if there was a third, it was copying things he'd seen others do.
obviously.
Obviously, George didn't let that slide. He took the 5th place of the pie and squished it right into Nicholas's head. His hair was covered in dark cherry goo. It was a mess. If you can't beat them, join them. I dumped the last of the pie on myself. Why? It stopped them from fighting over it, and they would have ended up feeling bad if it got messy and I didn't. Nicholas didn't think very hard ahead. Oh, what did you do next?
Honestly,
We found the water fountain around the back of the grocery store and tried to scrape off as much pie as possible. Then we went home. Mom still figured out what happened, and we all had to take real baths. That was a good time. A fond smile settled on Derek's face. He glanced up to the sky while getting lost in an entirely private moment of reminiscing. Clove is still reflecting on the story with amusement. Hope we'll find a whole pie. Let's see. Yeah, I hope we'll find a whole pie. Anyway, sorry about that. Okay, let me see. I'll have to check for it. Clove ruffled a hand through his hair, paused possibly considering how it might have felt to have an entire pie crushed into his locks. He smirked. Oh, that reminded me of something, actually. I got, like, did I tell you guys about when I was in elementary school? And how, like, there was this one kid that was kind of a bully to me. Like, I remember one time, like, he kept calling me things. He kept on calling me, like, shorty and, like, just, like, small things, like an ant, or, like, he'd call me, like, a shrimp and stuff like that. And I remember one time I couldn't take it anymore, and I punched him in, like, his stomach. I knocked the wind out of him, and then he started crying to the teacher. And the teacher was like, "Oh, Ellie would never do that. You're just lying." Which I found funny. But anyway, during one of his bullying me escapades, we were all getting together in my classroom. I think this was in 3rd grade. And we were having a thing where we had, like, these cakes. Like, we had, like, a big cake for, like, a celebration. And then he fucking, like, I was going over to get my cake, and I was, like, looking at what piece I wanted, and he fucking pushed my head into the fucking cake. Pushed my head into the cake. Like, it took forever to get, like, the frosting out of my hair, because at the time I had really, really long hair. And, like, he, like, pushed, like, I left a big-ass face indentation on the cake from him. Like, I don't know, this just reminded me of that. A pie throwing fight is way more memorable than I would have guessed. Dang, that's shitty. I kind of found it funny though. Being a bully is a no-no. You punched Jeremy for less. Yeah, I did punch the dude though. I found it funny. I found it funny when I punched him, because he just started crying, and I'm like, oh, it's okay for you to call me things, but once I punch you, now you're just a little baby, huh? Because he called me a baby. That was another thing he called me. Because he would call me, like, things that are tiny. He would call me, like, an ant, a shrimp, a baby, because of how small I am. He was making fun of me for my disability. And then I punched him, and I'm like, oh, damn, I guess you're the baby now. The most unexpected thing that happened to me when out shopping was that time I got a free balloon and accidentally popped it pretty much immediately.
Dude.
Oh, shoot. It was Derek's turn to chuckle in nervous disbelief. His grin shook just imagining it. Wonka's evil arc.
It's okay.
That was how I became the villain. Rest in peace. Where's the rest in piss? I want to say rest in piss. Rest in pieces, dolphin balloon. Yeah, rest in peace. Rest in piss. The conversation stayed on the topic of store-related outings. Naturally, that time you all went to the mall with Lee, and technically Kyra too was discussed. Where Cove's mom went during that trip was still highly speculated, but there were theories. The chat didn't last much longer though. Soon you crossed the street and arrived at Sunset Bird's local mom and pop grocery store. Always has been. Oi! You and your two co-shoppers headed right through the automatic doors. Ooh, cup noodles. Where's my kitsune udon? Let me see, we got summer refreshers, lemonade, orange juice. What is this? This is orange juice. What is this? Is this also orange juice? Lighter juice? Shiny, orderly aisles stretched out in front of you. Each one was tightly packed with a plethora of brightly packaged merchandise. To some people, the rows and rows of items might have been a slog to go through, but seen through Derek's eyes, it was a scavenger hunt with endless opportunities. Oh, bro. Oh, this must have been... Okay. This just reminded me of something. Okay. Were you guys around when I forgot what it was called. Hold on, let me Google it. There was like this thing when I was a kid. It was this one game from like the 2000s. Scanners. That was it. Scanners. It was scanners, but the S is a Z. And you would like scan barcodes and like fight monsters. Did any of you have those? I remember because like this is like beta Pokemon Go. Like kids would bring the scanners to like the grocery store to like scan the, okay, no, it wasn't QR codes. It was like barcodes. It was barcodes, and like kids would come and they would like scan it, and they would all go to like the grocery store to like scan all the barcodes and get more monsters. That game was sick. Yeah. Man, good memories. I could see Derek having a scanners. This is the real reason he wants to come to the grocery store. It'd be like, hey mom, can we go see grandma at like at the funeral home? Why'd you want to see grandma? I want to catch Pokemon. There's so many Pokestops. There's so many Pokestops in the graveyard. That was Clover spoke first. Y'all were around, God, the summer of Pokemon Go and like freaking graveyards, just a ton of cars just pulling around the graveyards trying to get Pokestops. That was wild. Do we need a cart?
Nope.
Probably not. Being around Derek is like being next to my best friend. He ballin' good. I appreciate it. He's a short king. I love him. I love him as a friend, though. Derek casually waved that off. I still fixated ahead on the altar of consumerism ahead. We're here for quality, not quantity. Besides, do we even have enough money to buy a ton of things? Oh, wait. Cove suddenly burrowed his hands into his pockets once again. He tucked them in deep, but didn't find what he'd gone in search of. I don't have my wallet. It's at home. Will you be our sugar daddy, Derek? Me neither. I thought we'd just be in the neighborhood all day. I never have money, which is relatable. I'm the one kid in our group that all the other kids have to pay for things because my mom doesn't give me allowance. Yeah.
I figured.
It's cool. I was always jealous of kids because I didn't get allowance from my mom. I never got allowance money from my mom. She would buy me video games and stuff, but I never got allowance. I would see like all these kids be like, oh, I got my weekly allowance. What do you mean weekly allowance? I didn't get shit. I got a fucking strawberry milk carton, and that was that. That's my weekly strawberry milk carton. Thank you for the head pats, overtaker. Same. Bro, like, what kind of magic did you have to do to get a parent that gave you allowance money? Like, kids, like, in school, like, starting up, like, a drug selling business, but instead of drugs, they're selling Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Derek's lack of a reaction couldn't smooth over Cove's obvious response to the situation. His wavy eyebrows pulled down together. We gotta stop by to get it before we left. Wait, did you guys have like the kids in your school that would like sell their pudding cups and stuff? My allowance was gained by washing dishes and cleaning the house. It was shit also though. Yeah, I didn't get anything if I ever did any chores. It was just like, that's what you're expected to do, Elio. You don't get anything for that. What do you mean? The other kids get money though. I think the only time I got money was when the Tooth Fairy came. I actually had this really cute Tooth Fairy doll when I was a kid. It was like a fairy doll, and it was made for like specifically for the Tooth Fairy, because like she had like a little thing that like you would put your tooth in for the Tooth Fairy to come, and then like you would wake up and in the morning her pocket would be bursting with money. Except in terms of bursting, it was like $1 bill, because that's like the most I ever got from the Tooth Fairy. But anyway, that was a really cute doll. Nah, this was my idea, so it's my treat. It's got like $8. I've got like $8 and some change. That's enough for all of us to spend around a few dollars, or put it together for one thing. It's gonna be plenty. In this economy, Derek, we'll be lucky to get like, I don't fucking know, like a Naked Blue machine for all of us. Not even $10 between us. Wow, it's like we're kids again. That's what's great about it. Having limited funds is the best part. You gotta get creative. No, having limited funds is the worst part. Co's hands finally deserted his pockets, and one came up to rub his forearm instead.
Alright.
Okay, thanks. Let's get something good. Derek took a step forward as he cheered. Alright, here we go. One thing, okay, now that I'm thinking about it, the fact that I did not get allowance when my mom got disability money for me is fucked up. You wouldn't give me allowance money when you're getting money that is meant to go to me? What? Okay, but I think she did spend her money on me, but like, I think she spent a good half chunk of my disability money on alcohol, not gonna lie. You went down the nearest aisle, swiveling your head to check both sides of the path as you swung your currently empty of good arms through the air. The first stop of the market expedition was the discount rack in the back. You didn't have the same luck as Derek and his little brothers. It was the only place in the store that was barren. Yep, but disability money is way more than video games and food. Yeah. So I remember, I was so sad. I went to the grocery store recently, and they were having like this one special on their meat, but I was too late, so I wasn't able to get like any good sale on meat. It was like you could get meat for like $2.83 for like a steak. I was so sad, but also I understand why that went fast. $2 for a steak, like, oh my god. One shelf had several dented cartons of chicken stock. Stuffed in the bottom of the rack was a bag of plain rolls. The sight was pretty pathetic. Too bad. He shrugged like it was nothing, but his words told a different story. It could have been easy if there was a pie here, or a cake, or one of those pans with a bunch of cinnamon rolls. Wistfully, Cove continued to mumble a list of miscellaneous pastries that you might have potentially been able to get if the fates had aligned. We can still get the stock. It's such a good deal. You gotta laugh from both boys. Well, keep it in mind as an option. There's still plenty of possibilities. And if push comes to shove, we could afford a smaller treat, like getting 3 boxes with 1 slice of cake each. We wouldn't eat more than that anyway. Maybe you would eat just 1. Cove could have eaten half the pie himself. Yeah, speak for yourself, Derek. 1 slice wouldn't cut it.
Whoa.
Oh, alright. It's a good thing we didn't find one then. Hey. He pushed past the already pilfered treasure chest and continued to chat. He passed cereals, pastas, and sauces, an aisle full of chip bags and soda packs and more. The dry goods and canned foods now behind you, you arrived at the produce section. The arrangement of goods was much more open than the narrow row of shelves. The 3 of you could spread out more in between pallets and baskets of fresh fruits and vegetables. Dirk grabbed an avocado, thanks, to check its ripeness. Cove stared at the watermelons, appreciating the fruit, but his blank face made it obvious he had no idea how to tell if they were good quality or not. I was wondering, on this game, you can get like shitty, no friendly roots, or you're more or less stuck in being friends. I think like you could get like romance or like friendship endings in this game. So far I haven't seen any bad choices, so just wondering. Yeah, I think it's like later on in the game, I think. Like, I guess what matters is like building up your relationship with the characters right now and seeing how that goes, though I'm honestly not sure. Since this is my first time playing, I think Twy or Song might know better than me how like what kind of endings you get. Oh, excuse me. I do know like apparently Cove's personality changes drastically in like the next step depending on how you treated him growing up. So I'm excited to see him become an e-boy. And thank you for the hydrate, Overtaker. Then a recognizable crackling sound spluttered to life. Both the boys with you lifted their heads. Without conversing, the two rushed over to the back wall where the leafy greens were piled up. A light spray of mist burst from the sprinklers, raining down gently on the produce. Cove and Derek stuck their heads into the damp air while snickering. Derek rubbed his hands together to pretend he was washing them. Cove lifted his hands up to be as close to the source of the water as possible. You guys ever pretend that you're like showering when you're ever in the produce section and like the little things go off? That just reminded me of that. I'm gonna stick my head into it. You made your own dash across the floor to enjoy the tiny dusting of water drops on your cheeks. The impromptu public shower ended shortly, and it was back to the center of the space for you. Knowing grins were shared around as you regrouped. There was a comfort in realizing someone else had the same silly habit as you. With the distraction over and the main goal unresolved, Cove hopelessly glanced around the store. He was totally stumped. There's a lot of things I like, but I don't have to get any of it now. How do we pick? There was a whine in his tone, and he crossed his arms out of frustration. Derek kept it light, same as he would when dealing with his much younger siblings. Dude, you need more imagination. Turn lemons into lemonade.
I've got a plan.
Actually, wait, yeah, that's what we should do. We can get some lemons and make our own lemonade. When life gives you lemons. Dun 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 dun. The concept struck Cove just as much as Derek. Oh, that would be cool. Now that's an idea. We're gonna become slumdog millionaires. Thanks. Derek marched with purpose to a box that was heavy with mesh bags of the desired yellow citrus. Also bless lemonade. I love lemonade. Lemonade is really good. I tend to not like lemons very much, but I love lemonade, especially pink lemonade. He tapped a finger to his chin, then bounced from one foot to the other. Derek was suddenly a lemon connoisseur who scrutinized the offerings with utmost focus. Yeah, I never did find out how to tell like what produce is good or not. I think I remember my cousin telling me like if you're checking like watermelons to like knock on the melon and see what kind of sound it makes, but I'm not sure what even sound would be a good sound. Orange juice is cool and all, but lemonade you can get lots of it because you can't drink only the lemon juice. Yeah, I can never get the watermelon thing. Yeah, I never understood how that worked. But you know what's better than orange juice and lemonade? You know what the best juice is? Orange juice. He selected 2 bags, one in each hand. The bottom of each pack was set against his upturned palms. Derek jiggled the lemons and tried to get a sense of their weight. Finally, the bag on the right was deemed superior, and Derek carefully laid the unwanted bundle back onto the stack. I just know that if the fruit is already ripe at the store, prob shouldn't get it if you're not planning to eat it the same day. Like with bananas, yeah. I know to get bananas when they're green. So, oh my god, that just reminded me of something with work. That like, okay, like I came into work one day, right? And someone wanted bananas, and I went into the back to get like a banana from the fridge, and this was my first time seeing the bananas in the fridge that day. We had like an entire bundle of bananas that were brown, and then I was like, I shouldn't use these, right? And then my boss was like, no, use them. Excuse me? So, anyway, I did not use it. I wound up throwing it away. I wound up throwing away the bundle and, like, telling one of my coworkers to be like, don't tell the boss that I threw away the bundle of very bad bananas, please. Now for citrus fruits, you squeeze a bit. If they're firm, it's full of pulp. If they're squishy, they have lots of peel. If the fruit is, oh yeah. But yeah, so that happened, and then there was one time we got a complaint from like a customer that like the milk was stale, and I asked like my boss, I reported it to my boss, and she was like, no, the milk's still fine, keep using it. I wound up throwing it away. I don't want to get people sick. Then he lifted the winner high, showing it off to Cove and you. I've got my thing. It's only $3. Your turns. This time Cove didn't look aimlessly at what was in front of him. He shut his eyes and put all his mind's power into conjuring up an answer. I think it's fine if they're just mostly bruising. If they're nearly black, then yikes. Yeah, they were nearly black. Like, the entire peel was just black. Brown bananas are fine unless they're very sluggish. Yeah, the thing was it was very sluggish, like I felt it. Like I squeezed the banana to see if it was firm or not. It was very slimy. And then I opened it up and like the banana part was brown. Thing is that very ripened bananas are very strong flavored, so they're not that great for most people. Yeah, it was not good. Soon he stole a quick glance at Derek's lemons through squinted eyes, and then he took his turn.
Come on. Let's go.
He made another trip across the length of the store, this time at a much brisker pace. Cove had a target in sight, even if he couldn't see it yet. But the bananas that are most ripened have the most amount of potassium. He blew past all the food aisles, the pet shelves, and the cleaning supplies. He only stopped when he'd made it to the one random aisle in the store with cheap plastic kids' toys. This is it. His words were eager and certain. There was a childish excitement to Cove that was fitting for the location. He reached a hand into the wall with yo-yos and bubble blowers. His fingers landed on a baggie of water balloons. What are you doing, Cove? Oh! Drinking lemonade is gonna make me want to have fun outside too. We can use this for that. These dudes forgot this was a Derek route. Perfect plan, Cove. I knew you could do it. Great, good work. Good work. Thanks. For all his previous indecision, the sweetness of victory was all the more worth it for Cove. His selection was even cheaper than Derek's, $2 and a bit of change. All that was left of Derek's money was $3 and your choice of prize. Derek patiently cradled his bag of lemons while Cove watched you expectantly, excited to see what the final piece of the puzzle would be. Cove, my beloved, so cheap. You reflected on the theme that was forming, your own preferences, and the shareability of different goods. In the end, you opened your mouth and said... Chips, candy... umbrellas, discount rolls, bubble blowers, yo-yo gum. I say like chips. Chips sound good. Or the discount rolls, if it's Hawaiian rolls. If it's Hawaiian rolls, I want those. Yes, we need that. Give me my Funyuns. You got to lead the way out of the toy aisle and back into the thick of the grocery store traffic. You round around the aisles until you found the right spot. Man, I want Funyuns now. Oh, that sounds good. You took another minute to pick out the best chips, and then you were done. With items in hand, you, Derek, and Cove went through the checkout line. Derek dug out his pocket change and paid for your odd arrangement of items. None of you bothered to get a bag. Derek's is already in one, and you and Cove could easily carry your things on your own. Damn, you're really gonna have... Oh, well, I imagine that would be heavy to carry a bag of lemons, though. After a successful grocery trip, you return to the great outdoors to walk back to the neighborhood. I guess it depends on how big the bag is. This kind of outing reminded you that it wasn't about what you were doing. What counted was who you were doing it with. Outside, you gathered in front of the crosswalk and waited for a chance to get back on the main sidewalk. While standing around, it was unanimously decided that you'd bring your goods to Cove's house and make the lemonade there. Are we gonna have a lemonade stand, or are we just making it for ourselves? Cause I wanna sell it. I wanna get money so I can buy a cake. Your home had the risk of Elizabeth deciding she wanted a pre-dinner snack. She wouldn't appreciate having a lemonade making operation in the way. There's no worry of that in the Holden condo. Cove's mom and dad were out, and even if they weren't, they were his parents, not his bossy big siblings. They wouldn't even dream of throwing the three of you out of the kitchen to use it instead. Derek was thinking along similar lines based on what he said next. Yeah, Derek's got an even bigger family. Honestly, man, I can't wrap my head around what it's like to not have any siblings hanging around your house at all. I don't mean that you're weird for that, it's just gotta be so different. He's actually got free time to himself.
Really?
Is it? I have my dad here. My mom is staying right now too.
I guess.
Yeah, but that's not the same. Parents take care of the kids, and the kids have a bunch of stuff they need. Every day has to be about me and my brothers. If we go out to eat, will everyone like the stuff there? Will George be too picky? Are we all old enough to do whatever the thing is? Or is Nicholas too little? My birthday is the only time I can do everything that I want for the whole time. And I still choose to keep my bros in mind, even though my parents don't make me.
It's okay.
I don't mind, but it's crazy imagining a world where I don't have to do that. Huh, I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, 'cause you got no siblings, Cove. Cove's eyes darted back and forth, and he bit the inside of his cheek. I guess having siblings or not changes how someone thinks. I used to be a picky kid. Damn, I was annoyed. I was also a picky kid. Like, I refused to eat tomatoes. Like, I would not eat burgers if they had tomatoes in them. I hated cheese on cheeseburgers. I could not have a cheeseburger. And like, what was other stuff? I hated mayonnaise, onions. I hated onions. Olives. What else did I hate? I was very picky. I'd like pick stuff off of my pizza if they got anything that wasn't pepperoni pizza. How the fuck you can hate tomatoes? But I was like, damn, let me be a monster. My mom liked me because I was incredibly unpicky and would eat most foods. Yeah, my mom had to be very careful about what kind of food I would eat. I remember like my birthday picture, my mom had like pictures of me when I was a baby. And apparently for my birthday, she was trying to get me to eat ice cream. She was trying to get me to eat ice cream and I wouldn't eat it because I didn't like the flavor. So like there's a picture of me somewhere in like this house or with my mom that is me like crying crying, trying to pull the fucking spoon of ice cream away that's my mom's trying to get into my mouth. And like there was like another picture of me like swatting my hand against like the little box of ice cream. I once washed a dish because it was covered in tomato sauce. Oh, you washed a fish. Yeah, I used to get like the napkins, like with barbecue and stuff, because I don't like barbecue, so I would get napkins and like dab it on the meat to get the barbecue off of it. Thank you for the hydrate, Kai. I used to be very picky, but I've relaxed lately, so now I can eat a lot. However, I still genuinely can't eat red onions, specifically on sandwiches. When they're cooked, I'm fine. Yeah, I can eat red onions, but I do prefer them cooked. Let me stretch. Thank you for taking a moment to do my morning calisthenics. Cooked white onions, that's just the bomb diggity. I adore red onions, especially somewhat raw. Yeah, I like all onions the same, I think. But I think like the purple looking ones are red onions, right? Those can be a little strong. So I only want like a little bit of it with my sandwich because they can be really strong. But that's also kind of why I like it. But you can't have too much of it. Yeah, the purple ones are red and the white are white. Why don't they call it purple onions? Well, I guess purple is just red anyway. Like, there's no true purple anymore in this world, it's just shades of red. I figured people would be who they are no matter what, but maybe I would have needed to be at least a little different if I had to share my parents in life all the time. I know because I had to lug giant bags of them around back in the day. Use red to make caviche, and for fuck's sake, that's the best food ever. What's that? Caviche. What is that? Let me look that up. Caviche. A Latin American dish typically made from fresh raw fish cured in fresh citrus juice, most commonly lime or lemon. Ooh, this looks really nice. This is like a... when you put it on some tortillas, yeah. Oh, it's got like some shrimp. Ooh, this looks really good. I need to try this. I've never had this. Throw some red onions in a stew, buddy. That's a recipe for goodness. Use red to make fish, red onion, lemon juice, and cilantro. It's very cheap to make, honestly. Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna try that sometime then. Speaking of food, I am hungry, so I am gonna browse DoorDash real fast. Let's see what they got in the morning. Cause not too many places open until like afternoon, I think. This was a setup to make you eat. Now I want to make curry, but Walmart is always out of the cooking when I need to make it, and I can't get the Smiths to buy any right now. Truly, I am in pain. Oh god, I want curry. What's bracket bites? Bracket bites? What does that mean? Hold on, are there any offers going on right now? Ooh, I can get donuts. Ooh. What is it though? Oh, spend 35. I don't want to spend $35 on donuts. That's a bit too much. That's like for the whole family. Hypothetically, if someone uses Treat, Stream, or Throne, would that add to the timer or not? Yes, I would consider that an addition to the timer. Just gotta figure out how much money they spent on it. Do not talk to me or my son ever again. What I want to do is stop my jaw from clenching. Pretty sure I messed up a tooth and now my jaw is clenching to avoid biting down on it. Oh, I hate when that happens. I do that sometimes too. Let me see, what food should I get? What places are open right now? Yeah, not too many places are open. Just like the fast food places. You can get IHOP, but I'm honestly not a big fan of pancakes. Like, pancakes are, like, I can't eat the entire thing. Crunchy fried steak and eggs. Big steak omelet. Ooh. Bacon temptation omelet? That sounds good. Ooh, chocolate chip pancakes, but I know I wouldn't be able to eat those. I can only eat like 2 stacks of pancakes, and IHOP tends to have like 5. Yeah, I feel like I would enjoy IHOP better if I ate it at IHOP instead of get it delivered to me. So I think I'll get Taco Bell. The only thing to do is dentist, so they make you that thing you put on your teeth, and that's like plastic but in your teeth's shape. Eeh. Oh, like braces? My dentist last time said like if you can't pay it, you should try like exercising to not clench. Like good luck at sleep. Yeah, I haven't seen a dentist in forever. Okay, I'm gonna get a nacho cheese, a nacho bel grande, should I get a Crunchwrap Supreme? I don't want a chicken quesadilla. Chicken chalupa. Steak quesadilla. Yeah, I think that should get me through the day, honestly. Mexican pizza. I have the ability to, actually. They're like sleeves for the bottom of the teeth so they don't rub each other. I tried calling the dentist, but I got voicemail. I tried leaving my phone number, but I changed plans recently and didn't realize I was out of minutes, so I think they called and couldn't reach me. Oh god. This thingy? What is this? Oh, those! Those like remind me of like the vampire teeths you get for like Halloween. Did you guys ever have those? The like glow-in-the-dark vampire. Like glow-in-the-dark vampire teeth. Alright, this is like $15. Maybe add another thing. No, actually no. I'll just get this. I'll just get this. I don't want to spend too much money. This is perfectly enough for me. I got a taco and the steak supreme. Okay, you know what? Actually, it came out to be $18 with shipping, so I'll add something else. Yeah, I'll add. What else? What else will I add? I'll add chicken quesadilla. Wait, should I get chicken quesadilla or should I get steak quesadilla? Oh, I don't know. Oh wait, this comes with chicken. Quesadilla, yes. Let me see. I get. Oh my god. I want reduced sour fat sour cream. Wait, what is this? Okay, I'm looking at this. Thank you for the blessings. I'm looking at the ingredients that you can choose to add. There's reduced fat sour cream for 92 cents. And then there's reduced fat sour cream for 98 cents. The only difference is the one that is 92 cents has a space between reduced fat, And then the one that's 98 cents is reduced fat connected through a line. Now I'm gonna get the reduced fat spaced out. Okay, yeah, that's everything. Pick the 98 cents one. It's like the one guy in Genshin Impact that like sells fish, like one fish for 300, 3 fish for 1,000. They say bless you, but me, I say bonk oi. Okay, there we go. Alright, I'm gonna get my quesadilla, my taco, and my nacho supreme. Okay, we'll see when that comes. It'll probably come in time before the timer ends. We'll see. Not my supreme? I figured people would be who they are no matter what, but maybe I would have needed to be at least a little different if I had to share my parents and life all the time. I'm glad both of you are who you are. Not my supreme? Thanks, Bunny. Me too.
But
the road was clear, so Derek got the conversation and his legs moving again. He started preparations by listing off what you'd need to gather when you made it back. Sugar, ideally some ice and really cold water, a pitcher, or something like that. Do you have one of those lemon squeezers? We can do it by hand if we gotta. With every object Derek recited, Cove nodded along plainly, but he was watching something off in the distance. His faraway thoughts made Derek's words reach him less and less until Derek noticed the lack of reaction. He called to Cove more loudly to catch his attention. Are you okay, dude?
oh,
Cove blinked as his brain snapped back into place in the center of his head. It's nothing. What were we talking about? Derek spun his lemon bag into a mini tornado by twisting it around tight from the bottom and then releasing it. He snickered. Okay, hold on, let me... Can I sign out? Can I sign out from Steam? Thank you.
no worries.
I was just making plans for making the lemonade. Okay. Into a mini tornado, or into a water tornado. Twy, how dare you? In my salad. Tornado. Gets war flashbacks. War never changes. The rest of the trip passed by comfortably. Derek carried the conversation, and Cove really paid attention from then on. Once you'd arrived in your neighborhood and reached Cove's front door, the resident of the building opened it up without needing a key. It was already unlocked. Sorry, into a mini whirlpool. That's not any better, Twy. That's not any better. Derek gasped upon seeing such a lack of security. Cove, however, was so relaxed and content that he yawned while going inside. That unknowingly cut off Derek's chance to question Cove about his choice not to lock the door. He simply followed his friend inside, as you did as well. The good thing is that those won't destroy your house if you make them. Yeah, you just unplug the plug in your bathtub and you make a mini whirlpool. Cove leisurely crossed his living room to drop his bag of water balloons on the coffee table for later. You left your chips there alongside it.
I'm on it.
Alright. Derek went straight into the kitchen. He had his lemon bag over his shoulder like a gym pack and flipped it over to set it beside the sink. He slipped his thumbs through the holes of the mesh and tore it. Where's your colander? What's a colander? Cove paused, looking incredulous at the wall. Then he turned and projected his confusion across the counter towards the source of it.
What?
My what? Yeah, what's a colander? Undeterred, Derek was quick to offer a rephrase. I'm dumb, just like Cove. A strainer. Oh, the thing where you separate food with water. Where's the Dylan-dander? So it's called a colander? I just call it the strainer. In the lower cabinet. The one on the left. Strainer? I hardly know her. Derek pressed his hands into the marble and leaned forward with a grin. Thanks, Cove. Colander. I've never heard a strainer be called a colander in my life. Honestly, this is my first time hearing this. Really? Wow. Then the spiky-haired chef ducked down and disappeared from your sight. If you could call someone who made lemonade a chef, that is. When he popped back into view, framed by the back wall and the support beams at the front of the kitchen, Derek was holding a silver strainer. A silver colander, actually. He plopped into the sink, and it sharply clinked against the metal basin. Derek took the bag he'd set nearby and dumped every single lemon into the waiting container. He turned the faucet so he could clean the cheery fruits. The sound of running water added an extra layer of relaxation to the atmosphere. Cove stopped dawdling and joined the already hard-at-work Derek in the kitchen. He grabbed a cutting board and a large knife from an upper drawer. It was his house, and he'd wordlessly claimed responsibility for the riskiest part of making the lemonade. Cove also directed you towards the sugar and a few other things. As it turned out, Mr. Holden didn't have an actual lemon squeezer, so you're gonna be doing that by hand. He did have a perfectly crystal clear glass pitcher that'd be perfect for the lemonade. Ooh. The body of it was a completely round ball shape, had a narrowed edge that pulled in at the top, with one side pinched into his spout. As far as you could tell, it's never been used. I remember my mom had like these really cool, like, tea cups, like tea, I don't know what the term is. Like, there were these really tall things that you could make tea in. God, this is the same as this meme? What is this? What is this? I finally found it after 15 years. The Scroll of Truth. You fell for it, fool. Thundercross split attack. That really is us. That really is me. Twy, damn you. Squeezing lemons manually, damn, that's a pain in the ass. Yeah, my mom used to have like these teacups. These really tall tea things that you would like put your tea in and make tea with. And they were all themed after buildings. Like she had like a floral like building tea thing. I remember I always wanted to make tea just so I could use those because I thought they were like the coolest thing ever. I loved those, and like whenever it was Christmas time, I always got obsessed with like playing around with like the little Christmas villages that my mom had. You're a monster, Twy. Yeah, Twy is a villain. He's evil. He calls me evil, but he's the real evil one. The antagonist. Takes one to know one. Oi! Have you made lemonade before? Bunny? Cove? Derek casually questioned both of you while he hefted the so-called colander up and down to shake off some of the water clinging to the freshly washed lemons. I've done it like a few times, I guess. I think I did. What about you, Cove? I've made really simple lemonade before, just for me. I'd squeeze one lemon into a glass of water and dump in a spoonful of sugar. It wasn't that great, but it was easy. Cool. Derek hummed while placing lemons on a clean kitchen towel. took a fruit from the colander with his left hand, passed it over to his right, and placed that down while grabbing a new one. Cove, that's not how lemonade works. Just squeeze a little bit of lemonade into it. That ain't lemonade. That's water with lemonade. That's water with lemon mixed in it a little bit. Lemony water.
It's all good.
I've made it before too. Fresh lemonade is so good. I'm excited for this. So am I. Your tools were all prepared now, so the team shifted into the actual creation of the traditional summer drink. I don't think I ever squeezed lemons. I think I did like the powder for lemonade. It's literally sugary lemon, which is bitter as fuck and sweet as fuck. Okay, but how does lemonade help you? It's supposed to aid you, isn't it? The lemon will aid you. You'll get like your favorite fan fictions. Your favorite lemon fan fictions. Your tools are all prepared now, so the team shifted into the actual creation of the traditional summer drink. Clover cut the lemons into chunks. Dirk gave Cove a tip to roll the lemons against the board before slicing them to get the juices going. What about lem off? I should have known you were gonna say that. You and Derek worked hard together to squish the fruits. Your menace in the morning, Twy. Twy woke up and he decided, I'm gonna cause problems today. You squeezed the lemon parts over the pitcher itself with a smaller strainer balanced over the mouth of it to catch the seeds. Oh my god. The food is already on its way. It said it's arriving in 4 to 6 minutes. Holy crap, that was a fast Taco Bell run. Holy heck. Okay, okay. 35 minutes. That's the time. That's the time. I'll set it back to 35 minutes once I get my food. I'll be heading outside for a few minutes to wait for the food. 35 minutes, chat. Remind me. 35 minutes. I'll be back. you lost your pen for your usual tablet. So I've been trying to get used to using this other drawing tablet you got for Christmas a few years ago, but the pain I hate when there's like pen sensitivity problems. Ugh, it's the worst feeling. What is this? See a link by Twi in chat. Open the link. Maybe I shouldn't set the timer to go to 35. Maybe I should set it to 0. I found the new meta. Oi. I bonk when field needs to bonk. How could you? How dare you? Hold on, give me one moment. Alright, we're at, what time are we at? 27. So 8 more minutes? Okay, there we go. Back to 35. Lulling Elio into a false sense of security with memes. The fuck? Just to trick him with "you fell for it, fool." What a foolish man. Clicking on the memes that Twi makes. Doritos tacos are so good. I literally can never have normal tacos now because I'm just like, oh, but it's not Dorito flavored. I've been ruined. Anyway, back to the game. This was a year-long con. Oh, someone purchased on Throne? Eh? Let me see. What? Someone bought something on Throne? Just saw the tweet. Oh my god. Let me see. I guess I'll be adding some time for that. Oh my god! Mini plastic drawer organizer. Cute! Oh, thank you for whoever got me that. Let me see. Oh, thank you so much. Anonymous. Thank you. Ooh, I'll be able to have my stuff more organized now. Okay, so that's like 5, 10, 15. Okay, so that's 3 more subs. It's like 3. So that's like 10, 28, 30 more minutes. That's 30 more minutes. I got 30 more minutes. Let's go. You can have stuff more organized. That's organized. Thank you, kind soul that got me this on Throne. It's so cute. I'm excited I get it. Let's go. I've really been needing more stuff to organize my stuff, like papers and like pens. I got like this one organizer in my closet, but it's all full, so I need another one. So this will help. Thank you. Dang, you guys are being so nice today. What the hell? What's going on here? What alternate reality did I step into? Let me have another bite of my Dorito. Carrot and stick pouch. Literally. Yeah. If you guys have never had the Taco Bell Dorito shell, you're missing out. You are missing out. Fucking love the Dorito shell. Delicious. Okay, so that like added. Okay, what else did we unlock? Let me see. So we're at like 36 now. Oh. Okay. Yeah, once we finish this scene, we'll do some of these. Actually, I'll save right here. I'll save right here for now. Sorry, YouTube crowd, but we're running a subathon right now, so sorry. We'll continue our life some other time. Yeah, let's do some of these. Let's do some of these since we unlocked some of these. I unlocked like 3 of them. We've got like an hour, so let's try and get our way through them.